Who are we missing?
Yeah, but he's gone anyways. So
And he's
Yeah,
gone.
Nat's not going to be here. Just Abby. I think
Yeah.
we have, and there she is. She just popped on. So we have
there you go.
everybody.
We have Steven too.
Steven's here too.
Hey, guys.
All righty. Welcome to Planning Board meeting for October 16th. As a preliminary matter, my name is David Irish. I'm the chair of the Planning Board. Please permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. John Trudell.
Hi.
Barry Rector.
Here.
And John Kitchener. John.
Here.
Abby DiMolina.
Here.
Great. Stephen Welch.
Here.
And who's got the picture of the house there? Who is that?
That's Joe.
Is that Joe? Joe,
Mr.
come on. Mr. Topham.
Oh, sorry.
Are you here, Joe?
I am here. Yes.
All right.
I had my camera off. Sorry. My bad.
Staff, when I call your name, please respond in affirmative. Megan Trudell.
Here.
Billy Sod.
Here.
Catherine Ansero.
Here.
Great. And who's the seal? Is that just the TV? All right. Anticipated speaker on the agenda. You know who those are. Good afternoon, everyone. This is an open meeting of the planning board. It's being conducted remotely pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment. For this meeting, the planning board is convening by video conference via the Zoom app as posted on the town website, identifying how the public may join. Please note that the meeting is being recorded and that all attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you and to take care not to screen share your computer. Anything you broadcast may be captured by the recording. All supporting materials have been provided by members of this body are available on the town's website unless otherwise noted. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda. We are now turning to the first item on the agenda, but before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules. I, the chair, will introduce each speaker to the agenda. They will conclude their remarks. The chair will go down the line of members and invite them by name to provide any comments, questions, or motions. Please hold to your name as called. Please remember to mute your phone or computer when you are not speaking. Please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. For any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. If members wish to engage in a conversation with other members, please do so through the chair. All right, thank you. I'd like to start this meeting, unfortunately, the moment of silence for Carl Borchert, who passed suddenly this week. I know I, for one, really respected his perspective and enjoyed having him on the board for the time he was here. So, a few moments of silence for Carl. Great, thank you. Megan, should we send a letter to his family, to his wife from the board? Can we?
We can do that.
I think that would be nice. All righty.
Dave, can I just say one thing? At Andrew's retirement, there was a nice informational thing from the state. Is there anything we can get some recognition as far as his service to the town and the planning board?
Mm.
Something like that would be really kind of a nice gesture as well.
I think that's a good call, Joe. Great. All righty. Entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Barry, seconded by John. Barry,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. Minutes, I know that Stephen had some changes. Is everyone else all right with the minutes?
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah, I make a motion at this
Okay.
point that we approve the minutes of September 11th with minor edits and changes as submitted.
Second.
Motion made by Barry, seconded by John. Barry,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. All righty, on to second dwellings,
Excuse me, we had on the agenda, excuse me, Mr. Chair, we had on the agenda September 26th for
Oh.
continuation. Do we have to continue, make a formal motion to continue or just not adding?
We can just continue it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
all right, on to second dwellings. Anyone need to pull one or recuse? Yes.
If I can just note, to Mayflower Circle, the public hearing we heard from the applicant's agent this afternoon, that special permit is going to be continued to the November 13th meeting. So the second dwelling is dependent on that special permit. So that'll need to be pulled from your vote and continued to next month as well.
Mhm.
Megan, I know we had a discussion. Do you want me to read every single one, or? I know last week someone was like, you don't have to do that.
For the second dwellings?
Yeah,
I don't think you have to. You can just read as they appear or just run through the addresses real quick.
okay, yep. So we have 4 Head of Plains, 14 and 16 Sheep Pond Road, 2 and 4 Highland Avenue, 10 Rugged Road, and 24 India Street.
And then also 60 Holbert Ave for the
Okay,
garage
garage apartment, 60
apartment
Hope,
and 79 Pocomo for a tertiary.
second and 79 Pocomo. Just a reminder to those people that that's for year round, hopefully.
Mhm.
So I'd entertain a motion.
Yeah. There you go. Second.
All right, motion made by Joe, seconded by Barry. Joe,
Aye.
Barry,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. On to the A&Rs. 16 Vesper Lane, we have 33 and 31 Baxter Road, 150 Surfside Road, 171 Orange Street, 43 Myacomet Road, 43 West Myacomet Road, 41 West Myacomet Road, and 85 Orange Street. Entertain a motion on those.
Motion to approve as per the staff recommendations and findings that they've made on these.
Second.
Motion made by Barry, seconded by Joe. Barry,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. On to previous plans. We have 9 Nantucket Road, AKA Ainsworth Avenue. Meg, this is just to approve. He's asking for a covenant instead of a surety bond on this.
No, so this is just endorsement of the legal documents.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
so I would recommend that you all approve to endorse those documents as proposed.
So move, sir.
Second.
All right, moved by Barry, seconded by John. Barry,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. Gray Lady subdivision, for request for release for performance surety.
Yep.
So with these, we'll release with staff to
Yeah, so I would, if it's okay with you all, I would actually recommend voting the next 3 together because it's the same recommendation. That's Gray Lady subdivision, Hawthorne Park subdivision, and Ellens Way subdivision. They're all at the completion point of the project. There's some very minor last minute details I'm working through with the developers, Ed Pesci, just to make sure we check all the boxes, but they're all minor in nature. So my recommendation would be to allow us to kind of work that out at the administrative staff level and go ahead and release all 3 of those performance bonds.
Great, thank you, Megan. So I'd look for a motion for Gray Lady subdivision, Hawthorne Park and Ellen's Way for the request of a release of performance surety to be followed up by staff.
So moved, sir.
Second.
Thank you. Motion made by Barry, seconded by Joe. Barry,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. All right, on to public hearings. Do we need to vote to continue these, Meg?
Yeah, so I would do these all as a batch vote. We have 21
Yep.
Brewster, Sparks Avenue, 12 Essex Road, the Westmore Club, 357 C Street, and then we've added 2 Mayflower.
All righty.
Motion to continue to our next meeting on November 13th, sir.
Second.
Great. Motion made by Barry, seconded by Joe. Barry,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. All right, so that leaves us to move on to Costa Avalon LLC, 50 Burnell Street.
Mr. Chair, I'm recused.
Thank you, Joe.
Mr. Chair, just to note, for some reason, if we do not vote on this evening, I see that the action deadline is 11/12. I know our next meeting is after that, so I just wanted to note that in case for some
Okay.
reason we're continuing, just make a note of that.
Great. Okay, and representing is,
Good afternoon, Dan Malloy.
hey, Dan. Hey, Dan, sorry I didn't catch up with you. I did go drive that road today, though.
No, that's all I was hoping to do. That's fine. Thank you. So I'll just do a quick update based on what we presented the board at the last meeting. Is everyone's, I believe, aware now that we've been able to work with the abutters over at 52 Brunel, Strassenbergs to basically have one combined road entry all the way in. And I think the open items that were left at the last meeting were the placement of the road itself relative to the abutters on Plainfield Road, some landscaping screening, as well as some stormwater. So we have provided the board with a plan. I'll start with the landscape screening kind of road placement first. So if everybody's had a chance to go out there,
Mhm.
as you drive in the driveway, obviously Plainfield's on your left. The new road will be starting from the left side of that existing driveway, moving away from Plainfield, with the intent being that all of the existing vegetation on the Plainfield Road side will stay. So there'll be no reason to cut trees down. We're moving directly away from Plainfield Road. On the plan, we've also added a couple of spots. So there's a couple of places where the existing vegetation is a little thin, and you can see through to some of the abutters' backyards. So there's 2 places, I believe, I don't have the actual. I believe it's at the corner of Grisky and Buscarin's property, and then again at the corner of Grisky and Queeley's property.
Mhm.
There's 2 locations we proposed, either some screening, either vegetation wise, or to extend. A lot of the abutters have board fences along the rear property line.
Mhm.
So we'll either do plantings there or extend a board fence in kind.
Yep.
So I'm thinking that should address a lot of the landscape screening concerns. Then right above, I think where Megan's got the cursor there, we do have some drainage we've added. So we've got a depression right within our road itself to the left of where she has it, and then some underground infiltration system right in that area there. So, and the road is basically designed as like I said, there's a low point. We've got the typical catch basin, oil water separator scenario when that has been used routinely at many other projects. So that will collect water from the road, and will also collect right below some of the abutting properties on Plainfield Road have built up their properties quite a bit. So they actually drain down into our property.
Mhm.
So our drainage system will pick up some of the drainage from the abutters as well, which is kind of running down, I would say, from the Queeley, Grisky probably the Queely Grisky side for the most part. So I think we've covered the stormwater component, what it's asking for. We've moved the road over, combined the road, provided the screening. The scope of the project itself is still the same. We still have 3 lots. We're not asking, or should say, we're not looking for any restrictions on the properties, given everything we've done. With that, I'm happy to answer questions.
Board members?
No.
Nothing. Yeah, I drove that road today and there is a fair amount of screening I wouldn't have realized until I drove it. So I'm comfortable with what you guys are willing to do. I mean, I think a lot of the problem is more of a function of the abutters building right to their buffer in the back, and that's what's really caused this problem more than anything else. But I think there's a fair amount of screening, and I'm far more comfortable with it now that I've driven it than I was before. Do we have a public is still open, correct? Do we have anyone in the public with their hand raised, Meg?
Yep, we have Anthony Buscarin.
Welcome, Anthony.
Can you hear me?
We can.
Yes, I'm here with Margaret McQuaid. I think Margaret would like to say a few things about her objections to the subdivision. And, her reason she couldn't zoom in, but I did. So here she is.
I have a couple of questions. One, you talked about improving the screening before my property. As you pointed out, I already have a fence because we were being bothered by things going on that driveway before it was discussed coming a road. So I am interested in more protection, not less, or the same amount, as there would be greatly increased amount of car traffic, to say nothing of construction traffic. So I'd like to know what the plan is to protect 7 Plainfield Road from that side. And secondly, you made some mention about the 3 lots. And I would like to understand if there is a deed restriction and guarantee that there will be no more than 3 dwellings on those 3 lots. 1 dwelling per lot.
Would anyone like to jump in on that one?
And I can start if you'd like, Mr. Chairman. Megan, could you put the plan up again for a minute? Okay, so I just wanted, so were we talking about Buscarin and Queely? Or which ones are we talking about?
Talking about August nominee trust, which is McQuaid.
Okay. So August nominee trust, and that's number 7?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right, let me start from the beginning at least. In terms of Buscarin, the road is moving further away from Buscarin, I should say, the driveway than it is right now at the entrance. So we're pushing it. Historically, there was 1 driveway that came in, and then due to abutter issues, the driveways were split. And now they're being brought back to 1 again. So that will push it further away from Buscarin at the entrance. In terms of number 7, like I said in the beginning, all of the vegetation there is staying on our side. And I believe I think there's a board fence, if I'm not mistaken.
That's my best fence, yes, correct.
Okay. So based on what I've seen with the board fence and the screening is there now, I wasn't anticipating a need to provide anything additional.
That's because you don't sit in my backyard. There's already quite a bit of noise that we've had and disruption. And so I was interested in greater protection because there is going to be significantly more traffic, as you can understand. So I consider what I have now barely sufficient for the traffic that's extant. and insufficient for what is proposed going forward when this becomes a road, not a driveway.
I guess I would defer to the boards, what you've seen out there. If it's questioned, you can certainly call up the aerial photo. If I believe this is the property in question, there's quite a bit of landscaping on our side. They have a board fence. I believe the owners recently put a pool in as well. So they do have some screening. So I'm just not sure, given what's here, that from our standpoint, because we have all the screening on our side, that more screening is justified. I'll leave it up to you.
Next, we have Arthur Reed.
Welcome, Arthur.
Yeah, I was actually just, you haven't made me a panelist on this. I was going to be, I'm on this representing the applicant.
Okay.
Then,
Thanks,
And-
Arthur. I'll promote you.
yeah.
Dan, can you tell us again where you were planning on putting more landscaping? There was just a couple places, right?
A couple of places. Let me just look here again. There's a spot. When you drive down the road on the left, there's only two places. And I've driven it multiple times. There's two places where the existing vegetation thins out, and one is right where Megan has the cursor there between Grisky and Buscarin.
Mhm.
And then a little bit further down to the left again
Okay.
with Grisky and Quealy. And then the rest of the way down, the road pushes quite a bit further away from the abutters. And the majority of that is pretty heavily I won't say landscape, but wooded right now.
Mhm.
I mean, what I'm thinking, in order for us to do any more heavier landscaping down there, would end up having to cut things down just to replant things. I'm not sure there's really space for us to do more planting.
No, I think that it would change the character of the road as it is if we started to cut things down and put in landscaping. I think we're better off with the landscaping that's there, to be perfectly honest with you. Arthur, are you?
I don't have anything at this point. I obviously Dan's point that there is substantial distance actually between the lot line and the proposed roadway at that location. I think it's adequate. Bear in mind that whether we were subdividing the property or not, we'd have the right to clear all the vegetation on the lot, and there will always be a driveway there. So that's about all I would contribute at this point.
Thank you, board members.
Dave, if I may,
Please.
I'm inclined to agree with you. I'd rather have the natural vegetation that's there instead of going backwards, removing the natural vegetation just to put new plantings there. I think it would be out of character to the look of the road.
Mhm.
Any other board members? How the board members feel about restricting the amount of, yes. So
Mr. Chairman, you've got a hand raised from Grisky out here, and it
Oh,
might
I'm
be
sorry.
wise.
Yeah.
It just might be wise to hear it. So whatever.
No, I'd love to. I'm sorry.
Whatever decisions we're doing, we can see if there's anything we need to integrate.
Yep. Can you bring Ben over?
Thank you.
Be over, please.
Hey, everybody, thanks. And Arthur and everybody, thanks for listening to our comments on prior calls about screenage. Definitely, it looks a lot better. A question I had was, Scott has indicated in conversations with several of us neighbors that he has put in a deed so that the 3 lots cannot be further subdivided. And I just wanted to see if that is actually is that actually in place, or is that actually in place as part of this, so that those 3 lots can't become 6 lots?
I believe that's number 5. Mr. Chair, under the conditions.
Right.
Okay.
It is there. Any other hands up?
No.
Meg?
I'm not seeing any, no.
What's the pleasure of the board? Yes.
Yeah,
sir.
Mr. Chairman, I'm pretty satisfied with the way things have developed here, and I think that between the findings and conditions that have been laid out with staff, that we've pretty much done due diligence here. So let's start by having them make a motion to close the public hearing.
A second.
I'll second.
Um,
And just one thing, Megan, 3 will be adequate for this, right?
Yeah, we need just 3 for a subdivision. No alternates are activated on this.
Correct.
It's a
Yeah, just-
subdivision.
can we?
Just want to get that out there.
Yeah.
Oh, we had
There-
a hand up, then they
Yeah.
just, so. I was gonna,
Okay.
okay, so, motion made by Barry, seconded by John. Barry,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. On to the merits.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion at this point that we approve the AR subdivision as submitted at this point with the conditions and findings that have been laid out by staff. There's a hand that went up, but that's after we've closed the public hearing.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mary, it was up and I was trying to stall and you brought it down, so I apologize. Our hands are tied at this point. Do we have a second on Barry's motion?
I'll second that.
All right, motion made by Barry, seconded by John. Barry,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well.
Great, thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Okay, we're on to Old South Road Limited Partnership, 8 Rupert's Way.
Afternoon, Dan Malloy again.
Hey, Dan, welcome.
So, welcome again. So, at the last meeting, the board approved a tertiary dwelling on the same property in the basement, so 3
Mhm.
dwellings in 1 building. At that meeting, well, not at that meeting, but as a result of that meeting and looking everything over, the application neglected to request additional relief relative to the driveway width. So we've got before you a special permit requesting a wider driveway than is typically allowed under zoning. And to go along with that, we've got a couple of things. So the other 2 dwellings on Rupert's Way were granted the same exact relief. If anybody drives down, take a look. Essentially, the driveway is the width of the lot and people pull straight in. In addition, on this lot is just a little extra difficulty. The roadway turnaround is partially within this lot, which makes it somewhat impossible to really comply with a conforming driveway when a third of the property is already open to the road as a gravel road. So we're really just looking for the same relief as the other 2 properties, a wider driveway so we can provide adequate parking.
Great, thank you, Dan. Any comments from the board?
No, sir.
Do we have to reopen a public hearing on this, Meg?
It is opened, but I don't see anybody with their hand raised.
Great. I'd entertain a motion. Barry,
Mr. Did you want to activate an alternate for this?
I would love to. Ms. DiMolina, please.
There she is. So.
Do I say anything? I'm
You look so happy, Dave.
There
Yeah.
you go. One of us
Yeah.
now.
Jet lagged.
Hey, Mr. Chairman, seeing nothing from the board nor no hands raised from the public at this point, I'll make a motion. We close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion made by Barry, seconded by Joe. Barry.
Aye.
Joe.
Aye.
Don.
Aye.
Abby.
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well. On to the merits.
We'll make a motion at this point that we approve the special permit as submitted with the findings that have been indicated by staff.
And I will second.
Great. Motion made by Barry, seconded by Joe. Barry.
Aye.
Joe.
Aye.
Don.
Aye.
Abby.
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. We're on to 14 Trip Drive LLC. Dan Malloy again.
Good afternoon, Dan Malloy again. So 15 Trip Drive, we have a special permit in front of you for a rear lot subdivision.
Mhm.
It is at the very end of Trip Drive. It's an existing house back there. If anybody was familiar, used formerly Diane O'Neill's house.
Mhm.
So we're looking to do the rear lot special permit to cut the lot into two. Access still be provided from Trip Drive. As you can see, that's the conventional proof plan. So we also have rights and access in the proprietor's road in the back. So we're looking to, like I said, rear lot subdivision, 2 lots, fully conforming in every way. The access to the rear lot, you'll see more detail on that in our plan to follow. There'll be access easements across the front lot to provide driveway access to the back lot. Both lots are on well and septic. We have looked at the staff's conditions, have no problem with those recommendations if the board chooses to follow them. And I would add to it that as part of the conditions, I would expect that the 2 lots would be subject or required to be made part of the homeowners association. So now one of the conditions had to do with some roadway maintenance, so they should be made part of the association as well when that time comes. That's it.
Great. Thank you. Any questions from the board?
Mhm.
Mr. Chair, just through you to Dan, I know you just said that about the septic. I see in one of the conditions, both lots shall connect to municipal water, sewer and water as available. And you're aware of that, even though they would put in the systems in the future, if it was made available to them, they would connect.
That's right. There is plans eventually to bring sewer up the street, but I think that's still at least several years out, I believe.
Okay, thank you.
Any other members of the board with questions? All righty. Go to the public.
We have Leona Tripp followed by Sarah Alger.
Welcome, Leona.
Hi, it's Eliza Tripp here for the estate of 4 Tripp Drive. I think our objection here is that really it's a safety concern over at 14 Tripp Drive. I believe that they don't have this frontage for a subdivision. It was not designed to hold any more structures than it already currently has. I'd like to know exactly what their plan is moving forward. Right now, currently with the amount of vehicles, is a huge safety concern of ours, along with preventative repairs to the road. And I would like to ask for some possible extension to possibly review and look further into this.
Okay. I doubt that this will be approved today, Leona, so I think you'll have a little time. But this is by right. They do have shown that there is frontage. So I don't really have an answer to that concern of yours, to be honest with you. Sarah?
Hi, thank you, Mr. Chair. Sarah Alger. I represent Stephen and Holly Visco, who are direct abutters. I just want to be clear. Is which is the proof plan and which is the plan that they actually want to do? Is the A&R plan, the so-called A&R plan, the proof plan? And then
Is the first one, yeah.
that's the proof plan? And
Correct.
then the rear lot subdivision plan is the one they're actually going to do?
Yes.
And so will all traffic come and go via Trip Drive?
Yes, it will.
Okay, and how will access to lot 2 be gained from Trip Drive? Is it gonna go around inside that connection, or will there be an easement that connects it?
There will be an easement, if I can answer that, Mr. Chairman. There'll be an easement through lot 1 to get to lot 2.
Okay, then in your conditions of approval, would the applicant be willing to accept a condition that that proprietor's road not be opened or used as access?
I guess I can answer that one as well. It certainly won't be open and used for access beyond where we abut it. But I know that the property owners do intend to put part of their driveway if they can in the proprietor's road, but they have no intention of opening it beyond their boundaries.
Okay, I mean, the difficulty would be, we wouldn't want to see it opened either to the south or to the north, because that could bring a lot of traffic from all the development that's occurring to the south up along that property down down that proprietor's road. So if there could be a condition, I don't think it matters if they use it for their own purposes, but as long as from their southerly boundary south or their northerly boundary north, that they agreed that it won't be opened or used by them. I think that would be important.
That's fine with us. That's not a problem at all.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
One of the abutters, sorry, if I could just answer one of the other questions. One of the abutters had issues regarding the maintenance of Trip Drive itself. And I know one of the staff conditions is that the road be maintained as part of the requirements. And I would suggest to you, if we get this far, to add a condition requiring that both of these properties be part of the homeowners association, so they're still part of the required maintenance for the whole neighborhood.
Agreed. And I feel that homeowners association isn't really functioned as a homeowners association because it's more of a family, has been more of a family situation, Meg, right?
That's my understanding. But Leona does have her hand raised. Maybe could shed some light on the history of how that has functioned.
Right. Hey, Leona or Eliza, which I'm not sure
We
which
are
it is.
not in a homeowners association, so I'm not sure how we would go about with the upkeep of Trip Drive in themselves. If there's going to be more vehicles in and out, we would request that they keep up with the maintenance of Trip Drive in itself.
So I guess to staff, when this was originally subdivided, was there a homeowners association? Or can we look into that?
We can look into that. I don't have that answer readily available.
It's important that everyone shares in the maintenance and not just the last person in.
I don't believe we found one in our research, but I do know there's been discussions. I'm not sure about how many people on the street, but I thought there had been discussions about trying to form one. So certainly we would be required, whatever those discussions entail, we're required to join it. I think is very clear.
Yeah, no, I agree, but I would like to have a solid understanding of that before we approve this, just to save some headaches in the future. So if there is one, maybe one of the Trips or Strangs have a copy of it and they could bring it to us, or I'm not sure how we do this. Any
We can
ideas?
certainly reach out to the Strangs to see if they have anything. And if there isn't anything physically in place yet, we can always have something drafted. It's only a question of whether or not who would be willing to participate in it.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was abolished and we would not be willing to participate in that.
I think
Okay. Well, I think it's unfair to think that you're going to ask the people at the end of the road to maintain that road in perpetuity. It needs to be a shared situation here. Everyone lives on this road. That lives on this road should pay into it. Barry?
Just for the record, who's speaking? Is it Leona or Eliza?
Eliza.
Okay, yeah, I just don't think that was brought up because the informational thing says Leona.
No, Eliza, when she jumped on, she did say that.
Oh, she did. I did. Then I
No,
didn't.
no, it's fine. No.
Thank you. Now, the only other thing I want to say is I just, if there's something else that can be done with that rear lot subdivision, I prefer if they didn't access the proprietor's road at all. Not until something more, in the future, something more definitive happens out there, then maybe that can be revisited at that stage. But right now, I'd really prefer if that just remained in the current state that it's in, see if we can maybe come up with something that may work internally within the lots. Thank you.
Thank you, Barry.
Mr. Chair, if I may, just to note that in the conditions number 2, the initial grading will be performed by the actual subdivision. So
Sure.
the initial expense is going to be taken up by the new subdivision, and I think it's only fair that, as you had stated, that one person isn't penalized in perpetuity for the maintenance of that road when there will be access for all the people using that road. So I think a homeowner association would be beneficial to have everyone proportionally pay into the maintenance of that on whether it's an annual or biannual period. But I don't think one should be excused from that and put the burden on the other, the other lot owners.
No, especially since it will be graded and perfect when they get their CO.
Right.
And we started from scratch. So I just think, I think it's important that we have a homeowners association here, just for everyone's peace of mind.
Yeah.
So if it's been abolished, I don't know if we can get a copy somehow of the old one and recreate it. I'm not sure where we should go from here.
I think we should wait until we can get the association document or whatever we can find. I think we should have in hand now. So
I agree.
Yep.
We can certainly research it and talk to some of the property owners to see if such a document exists and get a copy of it to you.
Okay, that would be appreciated.
Mr. Chair, I just pulled the subdivision file and there is a homeowners association trip drive.
Oh, great.
Back in 1998, October.
Catherine's on it. Thank you, Catherine.
Excellent.
So maybe you can disseminate that and we will readdress it at the next meeting.
Okay.
thank you, Catherine.
Yep.
Thank you. Nice job.
Anybody else? Entertain a motion to continue.
So
Barry?
moved.
Hold on. You've got,
Do I have hands up, Meg?
yeah, you got a hands up.
Okay, hold on.
Leona or Eliza.
Welcome back, Liza.
Thank you. I think our biggest thing is we're at the front of Trip Drive. We're 4, they're 14. So there's going to be trucks in and out going directly to 14 once this subdivision is approved. So why would it be our responsibility to repair the roads when they're doing the work?
Leona, it's part of our decision that it will be graded before the work is done and after the work is done. So when the subdivision building is complete, you will have a freshly graded road.
Mhm.
So the talk about the homeowners association is about maintaining that road going forward.
Right, which I was aware, which was abolished, but apparently I will look further into it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other hands up, Meg?
All right.
Seeing none, no.
Motion to continue to
Second.
the next meeting.
Okay. Barry, you didn't have a comment before that?
No, I'm just seconding.
Okay, great. Motion made by John, seconded by Barry. John,
Aye.
Barry,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Next one is David Charnes, 10 Evergreen Way.
This is Linda Williams.
And this is for a covenant lot, correct?
This is
guys,
just a.
Hold on
yep,
one
a
sec, hold on
covenant
one
lot.
second, Megan. Hold on a second. The windshield wipers are screwed up, left-hand side. I'm gotta go back to this meeting. That's pretty much it. I'll call you on Friday. What? You come and get it. Yeah, I gotta go. Thank you.
Hi, Linda.
I'm trying to switch my car to go off on Friday because the weather's supposed to be bad and we're going to New Jersey.
No,
Yay.
it's your meeting, not ours. Go ahead.
Okay. David Charnes is splitting up his lot into a covenant lot and had two separate driveways. That's pretty much why we're here. Paved
Perfect.
road,
Okay.
aprons, the usual. Pretty
That-
sizable
Chair,
lots for a
just-
covenant lot, really.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, if I may, just a comment. This is it's kind of straightforward, looking at the restrictions or demands of the covenant. It meets the requirements as far as the size of the lot. It's only a lug one, and the minimum is 40,000 square feet. This lot is it has about 80,000. It's really for all intent and purposes a lug two, even though it's zone lug one. So the minimum secondary lot would be 15,000, and it looks like it's generous with 17,587. The primary lot is 63,000. So I think looking at creating a covenant lot and putting restrictions and provisions in there, being a little bit generous with the size of the lot, I think it meets all the demands that we would look into as far as separating this in the covenant. So I like this.
100% agree. And the secondary dwelling on the primary lot will be by tertiary standards.
It's already tertiary standards. It's a garage apartment up there.
Great. All right. Anyone in the public? Meg?
I'm not seeing anyone with their hand raised, no.
Okay, great. What's the
I'll
pleasure?
make a motion to close.
Before we do that,
And if,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Barry.
if you would activate somebody,
thank you.
Boom. John Kitchener.
There we go.
Now I'll make a motion to close.
Hey,
And I'll second that motion.
Great. Motion made by John, seconded by Barry. John,
Aye.
Barry,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
John K.
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well.
thank you,
And
guys.
Like to make a motion to approve with the findings and conditions as stated by staff.
I will second.
Oh, go ahead, Joe.
Motion made by John, seconded by Joe. John,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
Barry,
Aye.
John K.
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well.
Thanks, guys. Looks like it's gonna be an early night for you.
If you'd stop talking, Linda.
There's always 10 minutes from now. You never
Well,
know.
If we average last month's
Yes.
meeting, this month, we're probably on par.
Yeah.
We'll just wait till next month with all the continuations.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm going to be out of the country. Great. No other business?
No.
Oh,
Motion to adjourn then, sir.
Wow,
Ooh.
weird.
Look at,
I'm shocked. I think I'll second.
And I thought I was gonna have to leave the meeting early to attend my other meeting.
Everyone has a very big smile, including me. You can't see me, but it's there. Good night, everybody.
night.
Good night, sir. Motion made by Barry,
Yes.
seconded by John. Barry,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
and I'm an I as well. Have a
Wow.
great night, guys.
All right, good night,
Wow.
everyone.
Record breaker.
Thanks, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.